Welcome to Cutting Edge. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really easy, no-knead rustic bread that will take you 3 hours start to finish. First, I have here 700 milliliters of lukewarm water. I'm going to put in half a tablespoon of brown sugar, 16 grams of dry yeast, and then we're going to mix that well. Like that. Then we're going to set that aside to proof. While that proofs, we're going to mix the dry ingredients. I have here 250 grams of whole wheat flour. I'm going to mix that with 750 grams of type 00, really strong wheat flour. This is 14 grams of protein. That will create a really, really strong dough. And then I have 25 grams of good sea salt. And then we're going to dry mix this very well. Since we are not kneading this bread, it's important that this is mixed and combined completely before we add the wet ingredients. When you see bubbles and foam on the surface of your yeast, you know it's well and alive. We're going to mix this in with our dry ingredients. And then using a simple tablespoon like this, I'm going to combine this until completely mixed. And when you have a lump of dough not looking very pretty like this, then we're going to cover it up, and then we're going to leave it for about half an hour or until double in size. Half an hour in, and our dough has doubled in size. Now we're going to do a flip and fold to strengthen the gluten network in the dough. Have a jar of water. You want to go in with a wet hand because it is a high hydration dough, so it will stick to anything. What you do here, you lift it up as much as you can, flip it over itself. 4, maybe 5 times until it starts lifting the dough like this. And then we're just going to tuck it in. So you get a taut round ball like this. Then we're going to cover it and leave it for another half hour. Again, our dough has doubled in size, and it's time for our second strength-building fold. Again, we go in with a very wet hand, and we flip it, but look how much more extensible it is now after just one fold. Second fold, and then like this, look. And then we're going to shape the loaf a bit here in the bottom. Again, a nice taut round ball. And now we're going to leave that closed for another half hour. We're ready to shape our loaves, and take a look how beautiful that is. That's just gorgeous. First, we're going to spread some semolina. I have here 2 sheets of baking paper, as we're going to form 2 loaves. I'm going to give it a little bit of semolina that will make a nice texture on the bottom of our loaves. And then water again, because same as before. And we're going to take out the air. Split this in 2 and make a nice bowl, as it's called, like this. Beautiful. Number 2. Get it all out of here. It's a little bit sticky, but it's not so bad. If you move a little bit quickly with your hands, then it doesn't stick too much. And then we put them down. We're going to drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil, like this, so they don't dry out on the surface. And now we cover them up with a bowl on each and leave them to rise while the oven is preheating to 230 degrees. The loaves have done their final rise, and now they're ready to go in the oven. I'm using the paper to transfer them to the bottom of my Dutch ovens. Inside the oven, I have the top of 2 Dutch ovens warming up. One important thing here is we want to spray them with water a lot. We want them to hydrate quite a lot, because once we get them in the oven, we want them to rise before they form a crust, and that's what the humidity does for us. To give them a little bit extra flavor, I'm going to sprinkle them with some sea salt Gives a nice little salty crunch on our crust. It's a very good trick. You need to do that. It's excellent afterwards. Now, we're going to transfer these to our oven. And as I mentioned before, this is preheated to 230 degrees. And now we're going to bake these for 20 minutes covered. Let's uncover and see how we're doing. Oh, they look good. It became quite big. Now we want the crust to form, and we want to allow them time to bake until they are golden brown. With this size of bread, that will take 25, maybe 30 minutes. Let's check the outcome. Let's get it out here. Ah, that looks beautiful. Listen to that. That's good crust, and that's what you want to see. Here you go. That is beautiful golden brown, and the smell here is amazing of freshly baked bread. Now we have to wait 10-15 minutes before we can cut in and see how they look on the inside. Now they cooled down a bit, so let's cut in and see how they look on the inside.
I'm waiting for this corner.
Ooh. Look at the crumb here. This is the best you can do in 3 hours on a bread. Obviously, if you do with a poolish from the day before and proofing baskets and what have you not, you can get an even better result. But this is a stand-up bread. Let me give this a taste.
Only by smell I'm hungry.
And with the salt on top, it's just perfect. If that doesn't make you happy, I don't know what does.